Joseph in Olive Branch, Mississippi, he asks an interesting question. It's getting to be that time of year. He said, will preview magazines become obsolete with the transfer portal causing so much movement? I've always loved them, but I'm scared that I won't be able to rely on them at all from now on. Well, interesting time right now. So what we just came out of is a transfer portal window. We didn't have that. Until very recently, we didn't have that. So there was a couple of years there where we had the transfer portal, but you could just move whenever you wanted to. That wreaked havoc on the preview magazine culture. That wreaked havoc. The biggest blessing that could be afforded to them was when the, whatever that council is that passes all the rules, when they announced that there was going to be a spring window. There were 2 transfer portal windows, basically. And the last one is through mid-May, and then it closes. And then largely, like right now, in other words, we know 98% of the rosters. And from this point on, nothing could change that couldn't always have changed before. Like a guy could quit, a guy could get kicked out of school, a guy could suffer a season-ending injury in summer workouts, but that stuff was always a risk. Now the preview magazine culture sort of has their feet back under them. Like they got knocked down for an 8 count, but they got back up. And so I was looking at Phil Steele earlier today on Twitter. He was showing some of the work they still have to do. He said, right at a month from today, we're going to send our last copies off to be printed. I've still got to talk to coaches. We've still got to go over rosters, but at least they know. Like at least there's a timetable now where they know the window's closed, so we can get after it. But as for preview magazines, look, I recommend this. I recommend buying them all. I'm not anti-preview magazine. What I think you should do, if you really want to be totally immersed in college football and you want to equip yourself, whether you just want to be the smartest fan you could be, whether you want to make money betting the sport, is I would buy all of them and I would use them as tools, as reference points. That's what I do. I still go buy them. And I don't really lean on them. Like the question was, I don't know if I can rely on them. Well, I've never relied on preview magazines. I think they're good to have as a roster reference. There's some good stories in there. And yeah, you could get a general feel. It's kind of like the mood tracker. I use the preview magazines the same way that I would think of the mood tracker when we do it on Late Kick. When I read let's use Tennessee. When I use the preview magazine to get the Tennessee preview, that's just kind of the mood tracker of the national media instead of the fan base as it relates to Tennessee. It may be way off the mark. It may be right on the money. But it helps me to gauge what the rest of the general college football public is thinking about a team. Then what I want to ask is, do I sound exactly like these preview magazines? And if the answer is yes, sometimes that's not a good thing. Because rarely does the college football public consensus nail a team in the preseason. Most of the time, if everyone's singing the same chorus, you want to be a little off key. It's okay. It's okay to sound different. It's okay to stand out. Because that ends up making you look foolish in August. But as Mima always said, an August fool is a December genius. What a quote Mima just dropped on the show, by the way. Wow, that's fortune cookie stuff. That is bumper sticker stuff. An August fool can be a December genius. We don't want to be geniuses in August. We can be laughed at. Persecute us all you want to in August. See us in December. So yeah, preview magazines, they're not going anywhere. They got a nice little rebound, a little reprieve from this transfer portal window. I think they'll be fine. All's well that ends well. What's your favorite one, though? You know, my other piece of advice is when you get those preview magazines, read them, but then make sure you're keeping up to date. Like watch and listen to podcasts or shows like ours. Go to 247sports.com. Listen to as much as you can. Even people you don't like. Maybe that's me. But maybe you don't like me. Listen to as much as you can just to form as well-rounded an opinion and a view of college football as you possibly can.